ask you these questions because first and foremost, your answers, girl, your answers had me, whoo, whoo.
I didn't know I was going to go that much in depth myself, but I really got into them. They were really good questions, and it made me reflect a lot on like what I've been doing in my journey. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Thank you for answering them. Thank you for taking time out your day to chat it up with me. So, guys, we're about to get started. So, welcome back to All Things with Shanti. We have the amazing Amelia. She is here. She's about to chat it up with me. I'm a bit nervous, so I apologize. But we have our agüita un poco de.
It's too early, honestly. I'm starting a little early today, but
it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's okay. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So first and foremost, who are you and who is Selfcare Recipe? Who is Amelia and where are you from?
So I'm from the Bronx originally. Well, I live here in New York, but I am a Latina. I'm Dominican and also Italian, but I mostly rep my Dominican side. Self-care recipe started from just me wanting to have an outlet and write out my feelings. The name Self-care recipe just came to me one day at work. I was talking to one of my like colleagues and he's like amazing. We always have these like spiritual deep talks and we just thought about self-care recipe and I was like, oh my God, that's like the perfect recipe for like me, myself, and I.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really much the recipe of self-care. Really just putting yourself first always and everything else second.
Yes. Oh my God. I literally have goosebumps. I'm fangirling right now. I really am. I'm fangirling. Oh my God. What would be a good word to describe you and who you are?
I think I said a word on there that I'm trying to now remember, but
you said profound.
Yes, profound. I feel like I never really have one answer for something. Like I can always come up with multiple and get into the like details of whatever it is that we're talking about. And that only, just allows you to get yourself know yourself even deeper. And I feel like that's why I'm always happy to explore all these topics and all these things that may be controversial to some, because it's all about the art of opening up and being true to who you are.
Oh my God. And what do you see in the near future for you?
To be quite frank, I don't know how many years we're talking when you ask me this question, but in the next year, I don't know what to tell you. I just kind of am continuing on the path that I am on, just continuing opening up on self-care recipe. And I'm open to collabs. I am open to using my platform as a way of just sharing and uplifting other blogs and other platforms as well. I feel like we can always use that kind of love in the small business and just in the social media community, just, sharing one another and, supporting one another. So right now, I can't tell you exactly where I see myself, but I continue to see myself having these kind of conversations, maybe speaking at bigger events when we're open to the public again. I'm happy to give workshops again. I used to do workshops in person about relationships to youths and even to older women, which is something that we all go through no matter what age, which is why I feel like it's something that needs to really be spoken about. So I'm just going to continue on that path and see what it holds for me.
You're literally you are amazing. Oh my God, like you are just amazing. And like I said in the beginning, like your page is truly so inspiring. Like I literally go and click on your page every single day because even like when I'm down or even when I just need, like a slap, like girl, lepiértate, like get it together. I go on your page and I read everything you post. Like everyone can relate to everything you post. And it comes from someone pure. You're pure, you're honest. And when we're reading your stuff, we're not like, oh, maybe she doesn't feel it. No, we feel what you're feeling every time you write anything. And that's why I say you're truly a superwoman to me. because you have a gift and you're sharing it with everyone. You're sharing your light with everyone. And like I said, you're truly inspiring. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but you're truly inspiring. You're amazing. And I'm really excited that I get this opportunity to chat with you, because when you go from healing, you go from inspiring, you go from self-love, finding that. I feel like it's truly so important. I did a podcast the other day and I was just explaining how self-love and self-care right now is when we need it the most. Taking care of your mental health is so important. One, self-love for me is very dear to my heart, because at first I didn't know what self-love was. I was like, espérate, who's that? Self-love. I don't know. It took me a long time. It took me a long time. And you know what? Things take time, and you need to take time to heal yourself. You need to take time to understand yourself and really just take a step back with everything going on in this world and the day we live in today. Things are crazy, and sometimes we feel shifted, sometimes we feel lost, and sometimes it's hard to like really find yourself. But in order to find yourself, you really just need to sit down, take a step back, unplug and recharge your minds, recharge your space, recharge your heart. um and that comes with healing is a long process. Like, it's a long process. Just because you're going through something right now, I can't say, oh yeah, tomorrow you're going to be fine. No, you can say you're fine, but truly deep down, you're not. And you really need to heal first before you put anything out into the world. Before you put any love, anything, you need to heal within yourself. So for you, what advice would you give to someone that is currently balancing healing and finding their self love?
So to everything you said, I agree 100%. We really do need to be in a space where we recharge and renew our souls and our spirit, just to um, get back out there and experience life the way we should experience life. We shouldn't be in survival mode. We should be in thriving mode. And I feel like that's sometimes a disconnect, where we forget that life is really all about living, because
Mhm,
we are really here for a short time.
mhm,
So my advice to people really is, like, take your time for sure. Like, healing, you can never say how long it's going to take when you're healing from wounds that we cannot see physically. A
mhm.
doctor can tell you physically how long it may take for you to heal from a broken leg, but a psychologist or a therapist, they can never tell you how long it will take you to heal from depression,
Yeah.
PTSD, things that you've been struggling with for a long time. The nation overall needs healing. Like you said, there's a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. um, and if you do want to change anyone, I always say start with yourself. And that in itself would be a change for the world, because you live in it and you are part of that world. So I always say, focus on that and take your time, be kind to yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. There will be things that are going to constantly happen in our lives that we will need to be healing from and just taking a break from. So it's good to acknowledge that we will never be perfect, and that we also need to try to live our lives while we heal, because we don't know how long it's going to take us to heal.
Mhm.
Um, and these are things that would aid us along the way as well, when we actually try to live our lives to the fullest, instead of just being in survival mode.
Yes, I totally agree
Yeah.
with everything you just said. And I know you're big on like healing and like self-care, self-love. Can you explain a little bit more of what healing means to you?
So healing, wow, I think that's a really deep question, because to everybody it means something different.
Mhm.
So it's really just how we're all looking at it and how we can all learn from one another and the way we look at it. I don't think healing is linear. It's not something that, you're just going to see a straight line going up. It's pretty much very a line that's just up and down. You never know. One day you're going to feel good. One day you're going to feel like you regressed. And it's just kind of realizing that these are all things that are part of healing, instead of fighting against it. The more we fight against our own feelings, the longer they prolong. So we end up taking longer to heal when we block ourselves from having these feelings. So healing is really just letting yourself feel and going through the emotions, and then learning how to recover you yourself from it, because I also preach a lot about becoming your own self healer.
Yeah.
And I think we all have that gift one way or another. Even our bodies, you see how we go through things and how they naturally heal.
Mhm.
Our hearts themselves are also very resilient, and that's something a lot of us tend to oversee. Our hearts, probably you can name the worst thing that has happened already, and it and come to life, and it has, like there's this saying, if you thought about the worst thing happening,
Mhm.
most likely that worst thing is going to happen. So we kind of sometimes put these things on ourselves when we let these thoughts run over.
Mhm.
But really, healing to me is just something that you got to be patient with, and you know tough it out the best way you can.
Yeah, because everything takes time. Like I look at healing, self growth, and self love. I look at that as a butterfly. A butterfly, a butterfly doesn't turn into a butterfly right away. It goes through its stages. And in order to become a butterfly, the butterfly has to go through so much in order to turn out into this beautiful and blossom beautifully. So I feel like for self love and self growth, healing, that's the process and the phases of a life of a butterfly. I feel like we're always becoming, like First Lady Michelle Obama said, we're always becoming, we're always growing. The journey never ends. Like, even if right now everything's going perfect for you and, you know, you feel your best, you still have next year, next week,
Yeah.
tomorrow, the next hour. We still have so many more chapters to go through. So we're not our best self yet. We might be right now for this moment, for this second, but we still have so much more to go through. We still have so much to grow through and feel. So with growth and self love, can you explain like how do you feel on growth, like self growth? What does that mean to you?
Um, so I self-love and growth, they do come in conjunction. Like
Mhm.
you cannot really have one without the other. Like you said, human beings, we ever evolving. If you think you stopped evolving, then I'm sorry to tell you, but you become stagnant in your mind, and you don't, and you're never gonna grow again. So I think, we should always keep that open mind where, like, our vessels are ever what do you call it? Like there's really no way it can ever overflow. Like it's only gonna keep, you can only keep feeling it, and it's never gonna feel empty or like it's missing something. With growth, I think, that's a concept that many of us don't really look at as a part of our natural just way of like being, because
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I tend to like go into it more than I
Oh
should.
no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm girl. I'm literally like I'm fangirling right now. I'm taking this all in, girl. I'm taking this all in.
So with growth, I feel like, we have to look at it in an open way, as a way of learning something new about ourselves every time, and really never taking those moments for granted. Self love in itself, um, you know, it's hard work. I think in order, self care comes from having self love. So
Mhm.
you need to have one for the other. And with self love, the way it works is first learning how to be happy with yourself.
Most importantly.
And this is something that a lot of us struggle with, because deep down, we were never born to be alone. So just the concept of it scares people,
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, well, I wasn't born alone. I was 9 months in the fetus with my mom, and now I'm here with the family, now with everybody. So it's like, when do you ever really get a chance to be alone? And I mean, like,
Mhm.
physically, emotionally, and in every sense. Starting with that, I think, that's important. A lot of people grow up and they get into relationships and they never really have that time to get to know who they are. And
Yeah.
then next, they have a family. Now your focus has to be on your family, your children. So when did you ever get a chance to get to know yourself outside a relationship, out of family? And so for some people, then it ends up coming to them later on in life, once they have an empty nest, once um, there is just them or their partner, or just them alone. That's when their self-discovery and self-love journey really starts. I want to say I've had the gratitude and misfortune of not being in a relationship early enough that I've just had time for me and getting to know who I am. So that has been a big part of why I've developed um, a lot of love for solidarity and being by myself. I live by myself. I started this journey this year, and I feel like living by yourself really does teaches you a lot on being by yourself, because once that door closes, it's just you and your thoughts.
Yeah.
And that could be a really scary feeling or a really good feeling. Like,
Hmm.
yes, nobody else here. Oh my God, amazing. I don't gotta, you know, let other people drain my energy, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, but also being alone is like, oh my God, now it's just me and my feelings. And if you're going through emotions that you kind of want to avoid or don't want to experience at the moment, it doesn't give you any other choice.
Yes.
So I think, self-love number one comes with learning and loving to be by yourself, and not fearing or being afraid of ending by yourself, because I think that's when self-love begins to disappear, when you begin to feel fear for those around you leaving your life. If you have a lot of self-love for yourself,
Mhm.
you won't focus so much on feeling like your life is gone just because one person is leaving, which
Yes.
is why, you really have to put yourself first, and set yourself at a standard where you're not setting it for everybody else.
Mm.
Because then you're not gonna fail when you at least hold yourself accountable versus others, So I'm really big on like expecting more from myself than everybody else, because I know that my self love and self worth is up there to the point where I know that I shouldn't need, not that I don't feel like I need, but that I shouldn't feel
Yeah.
like I need these people all the time, because I'm not going to lie here and say that I don't want people, or I'm okay with not like wanting people. It's not true. When people say that, they're lying to you.
Yes.
When people say that they're okay with being alone, they're lying to you, or that they don't want love, or that love sucks. What sucks is what they went through, not actual what love is. And
Yes.
I think, when we focus on that, we do self-sabotage ourselves and our chances of a better life.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, self-love is really, learning how to be by yourself. And if you do have a partner already, and let's say your partner is adding on to that, it's also learning how to have your independent life from them. You can have a partner and be co-independent, not codependent.
Yes.
And codependent comes from knowing that you and your partner have one life, but then you yourself have another. And your identity doesn't come from who you are with your partner, or who your partner is. It comes from you and what you have achieved by yourself. So if you are in a relationship, my advice is to just, and you are trying to find that self-love and that time that to get to know yourself that you probably didn't have because of how long you've been in relationships or in that relationship, then really try to take that me time. For me, really try to separate who you are from who your partner is. Go to events without them, have events with your friends without them, and make it clear exactly that you're not bringing them because you want to have a life of your own.
Hmm.
That's only also going to add more value to your relationship in itself,
Yeah.
because your partner's probably going to go off and do the same.
I'm
Yeah,
really,
that sounds so long, but yeah.
girl, I'm take if can I move in with you? Can I move in with you? I'm like taking this all in. I'm taking you literally just hit every category I know the listeners need to hear. You didn't just specify just self-love for you. You hit every category. Girl,
Yeah.
can I just be that plant? Let me just move in with you. How much do I have to give you monthly? Let me just move in with you. Cause you just went You
Oh,
just went
Shanti,
in.
yeah, I have a room for you. Come.
Went in. Like I could definitely relate to every single thing you just said. My mom has always told me, she's like, La vida sigue. It keeps going no matter what. If if you want to get married. But you have to understand that now once you're getting married, you're now becoming a union, but you have to remember to not forget about who you are. Don't lose yourself. Still be that light that you have within yourself. Still be that fire within yourself. And then she's like, and make sure that your partner still has their light and their fire. So when you guys come together, you guys have both a joint fire. So even if things do hit the fan and things don't work out, you still have yourself and they still have their self. You haven't lost nothing. So she's always like been big on like always remembering like who I am. Don't lose yourself. He's always like, don't lose yourself for a guy. Don't lose yourself for, for love. Always find yourself and always love yourself first. And I'm very big on that. And I said that in one of my previous videos. Like, I went through a moment where, I was by myself. And that time I went through shaving. I had a whole Britney Spears moment. I shaved my hair. And when I shaved my hair, I literally felt like, whew, like I felt like so much was lifted off my shoulders. I felt unstoppable. I felt like I was that bitch. I mean, I am. We all are that bitch, but I was like, espérate, this is like Bad Bitch 2.0. I felt undefeated. And I needed that. I needed that because I lost my fire. I lost that light. Like I saw myself in the mirror, but I didn't know who that person was. But when I shaved my hair, I let go of so much bullshit. I let go of so much that was weighing me down, so many feelings, so much hurt. And when I looked at myself in the mirror again, I was like, there she is. Slowly my light was coming back. Slowly my fire was coming back. And I had to take that long period of time to heal within myself. I had to take that time to feel my feelings, feel every tear, feel every pain, every hurt. I had to take that moment and understand and digest that all. And when I did, I understood, okay, I'm healing from that. So now I have to figure out what love do I want to give out to the world and what love do I want to receive. I had to cut off friendships. I had to cut off a lot of things that I felt were no longer gonna help me grow in my new path. Not necessarily saying that it was like a bad ending. It's just that things slowly expire and it's okay because now you're on the right path to where you need to be. So right now, this moment, I can happily say that where I am in life, I'm growing through it. I'm growing through all the phases. I'm growing through all the tears. I'm growing through all the happiness moments. I'm growing. And the person that I'm becoming, you cannot fuck with me. Like, you cannot fuck with my energy. You cannot fuck with who I'm becoming because I'm becoming, and it's the best feeling. It's the best feeling. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I made this podcast. I was so shy to do it because I was like, no one's gonna like it, or I'm gonna sound funny, or my accent is gonna be too strong. But I'm like, you know what? I gotta do it for me. I gotta find my happiness. I gotta find my thing that is gonna get me so excited every day to do. And I did it. And I'm so blessed that I took the time to really heal myself, heal my mind, heal my heart, heal my energy, heal my space. Because now look at me, I'm blossoming. I'm growing and I have so many opportunities left and right, but it's because I believed in myself. I believe that I could heal myself. I believe that I could heal from the tears, the hurt, the sadness. And now I'm unstoppable. And I want every girl, everyone, I want everyone to feel that you can do whatever you set your heart to do. Like, you just have to heal yourself, and healing takes time. Like, never rush the process, never rush anything you put your heart into, because 9 times out of 10, my mom always says, if you rush things, it's not going to work out. Something's going to happen. Something's going to mess up your flow, and your path is not going to work out.
They'll fall
Always,
apart as fast as they came together. Yeah.
yeah, like always take your time. What's meant for you will always be meant for you. And this is where my favorite quote comes in. Um, I have this favorite quote and I love it so dearly because it's so special to me. It's, no one is you, and that is your power. So when I read that quote, I was like, espérate, no one is you and that is your power. it took me some time to really understand. I'm like, hold on, what is my power? Like, what makes me so powerful? So I ask myself every time I'm in a down place, I ask myself when I read that quote, I'm like, okay, if no one is me and that is my power, then who am I? Like, what is my power? What makes me so powerful? What makes me me? So when I took that question and I digested that quote, I'm like, well, the person that I am, I feel like I'm a light. I feel like I'm a healer. I feel like what I bring out to the world is so meaningful. I feel like every person I meet, just, we connect because what I'm bringing to the table is pure, it's honest, and like I'm a bubbly person and I do everything with love. I spread love. That's just me. That's just who I am. So that's my power. And no one can take that from me. No one can take what's meant for me away. No one can take my shine. No one can take my love. No one can take my opportunity right now meeting you. No one can take that away from me because I knew I could do it. I believed in myself. I was shy and I'm still shy right now and I'm nervous, but I did it. I got out of my comfort zone and I'm doing it. And my question to you is, if no one is you and that is your power, then who are you and what is your power?
I think, yeah, the passion that I that I bring to execute everything that I do is really my power. Everything that I do, I realized it. And someone
Mhm.
actually brought this up to me on Instagram. They're like, yo, girl, you get an idea and you just throw it on Instagram and you go at it. You know, like
Mhm.
recently yoga has been my thing. So I've been posting every day when I do sessions, and I'm like, wow, like I just started yoga and look how I'm like being with it. And when I started Selfcare Recipe, it was just like, post. And then it went from posting other people's stuff to just, oh my God, I have so much to say. Why don't, so slowly I started doing that shift with SDR because I was doing a lot of like repost and maybe like, sharing things in my captions, but I've made SDR now completely online where everything that I share is original. I really think that's my power, that everything that I do with passion. I work in the foster care system, like in real world. I have a job too. And I work with youth and I'm their coach. So I'm there for them emotionally, physically, financially, through the agency, obviously, whatever they need, we cover them and we let them know that we're here for them. So I execute that also with so much passion. When something goes wrong, I do feel it in my heart. Like if like, I was the one who like should have done better. And
Mhm.
I just feel like honestly, when this is my purpose really and my passion, to just be this help to everyone. And so when I feel like I'm not helping, I feel like I'm not living my purpose, and then I feel like down. So it's really just, putting my all into everything that I do. I don't half-ass anything. And I think, that's probably my problem too with love and relationships, that maybe I dive myself too deep too fast into them. And that's also, part of the work that I'm doing. You never really stop working on yourself, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's really just, reminding myself that it takes time, and we'll get there eventually, all of us.
Yes, I definitely love your answer. And I know you mentioned a little bit of your purpose just now. So going to the next question, what is your purpose and what are you here on earth to do?
I think, I'm here on earth to as a messenger, honestly. I'm here to share what has um saved me and what I've seen have saved others. So not only am I sharing my story, but I'm sharing the one that I'm living through vicariously through others.
Mhm.
So some of these stories that I share, they may not be mine specifically, but I know that as the messenger, passing them forward, bringing that knowledge forth and to people's minds. For a while, I was big on talking about narcissistic abuse on Selfcare Recipe. So this was part of my healing and what I went through. And it's important to note that I made Selfcare Recipe the beginning, a bulk of my post about this, but
Mhm.
it's because that was the beginning of my personal healing phase. And once I brought this knowledge forth and I knew that this was something now that I had to set aside, because to heal, you also need to learn what you went through and move forward from that. So I feel like if I would have kept just talking about narcissistic abuse, my heal would have stayed stagnant in one way or another, my healing. So I needed to go into the next step. And that was what you mentioned earlier, learning about now what is it that I want and don't want, what relationships do I need to purge out of my life, and what behaviors do I need to purge from myself and my mental. And I had to get real with myself and with others around me. And I was like, I'm sorry, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta. And that included some of my family too. As crazy as it sounds, Shanti, that includes even family at some point. Even you gotta go. And back to self-care, you are number one. I preach that you're number one, and self-love, everybody else should come second. And that is because if you're not you, if you don't feel 100% good yourself, how else do you think you're going to be able to serve someone else? And this include people with their own children, because I know I'm not a parent, but I know in order for you to be a good parent, you need to be good yourself. So a lot of parents feel like, oh no, my child comes first. If you're putting your child first, then that means you're really not, because you need to be first. And your child knows that too in order for you to help them. But that's another conversation. Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation, so it's just really about, moving forward after you've learned the lesson, and then deciding what you're going to do now with that. So through that phase, then I had to learn a little bit more about like, okay, wow, this is what I want. So from that, I got to learn more about my purpose. Like, I want people around me that are healthy, people that want to grow on themselves, that want to have these conversations, that, want to confront the things that they're dealing with in a healthy manner, not just avoid them. And, that's how I learned myself what it is that I needed to give out into the world to help other people that are dealing with the same thing.
You're just literally, the amount of times I said inspiring this entire cast, like you're truly
you too. You're so inspiring. Honestly, your story and everything that you're sharing, like, people need to hear this. They need to hear that, you didn't just decide to start this podcast because you were bored. No, like, this is something that, you went through your ups and downs with, and, you're still here dealing with them, but yet you're still doing it. And that's bravery, and that's self-love and courage. So I really do commend you for that, and bringing me to your channel to continue to share this with me and my platform as well now.
Thank you.
Because I'll definitely be sharing this.
I'm soaking this in. Like, I'm talking to you right now. This is the girl I literally look.
You need to stop.
I literally look on your page every day, and I'm like, what the? I'm talking to her right now. And I was so nervous, but after like talking for a couple seconds, I'm like, why do I have to be nervous? What she's giving me in return is just pure love. Like, she is giving me the realness. Like, she's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna talk about certain things, or I'm gonna just say what I'm gonna say and that's it. Like, you're passionate in how you carry yourself. Like, I'm just getting passion, I'm getting lights, I'm getting love from you. And I'm just soaking all this in, because listeners, you guys this girl is amazing at what she does. Like, she's all the way in New York. I'm all the way in Maryland. Like, if I was in New York, I would be giving you a hug right now, because I'm
virtual hugs.
Like, this is really, really amazing. I look on her page every day, like literally every day. And I'm like sending my friends everything, because even if I'm in a good place and I know my friends are hurting, I always send them stuff that I know they could really use in that moment. Because when I read your stuff, you're not only giving me what I want to hear or what I want to read in that moment, you're giving me what I need to hear, because you're keeping it also 100% real. And everything that you write, you're giving us what we need to hear as well as what we want to hear. So I admire your strength, I admire your power, I admire how you carry yourself, I admire your passion. I just admire you so much, and I look up to you. And I want you to know that here in Maryland, like, we love you over here, girl. Like you're getting all this love from here. So thank you, truly,
Oh my
truly.
God.
And the last question for today, which is an important one, it is, what is your message on life? What do you want our listeners to take from this? And what do you want us to remember about you?
I think I remember what I answered, and I'm probably gonna say it right now. Life is short, you guys. We're here literally for like I'm not here to give y'all anxiety, but we're here in this universe like a nano split second.
Mm-hmm.
The world that has happened around us, like it will continue to be here when we're gone. So we need to do the best we can to mark who we are and make sure that if not us, but our message resonates in the minds of the people and the generations that are going to be here behind us. Don't take life too seriously either. Things are going to happen, like we said. If we're living next year and next month and next day, things are going to happen. There's always going to be something. So it's just really about living life to the fullest, and know that, like, your heart's going to get broken again. And, you're probably going to have to, find a new apartment again in another 2 years when that lease is up. And, you're probably going to have to find another job in another 3 years. Like, don't think anything you have right now is forever. I feel like only you yourself and your mind, these are only things that you can really hold on to with you. But everything else around you, these are things that are ever evolving, and change will come to you even if you don't want to. So the best that you can do is roll with it and roll with the waves as they come. Love to the fullest, cry to the fullest, and live life to the fullest. And that's really my message.
I'm soaking this in. Oh, girl, I am smiling from ear to ear. Like, I'm just soaking all this in, guys. You guys don't understand. Like, just feeling this here from Zoom, like, you can feel it. And I'm just so thankful from the bottom of my heart. I'm so thankful for having you on here on All Things with Shanti, chatting it up with me. I'm literally getting to meet one of my favorite people on Instagram. So I'm just so thankful for this opportunity.
You're so sweet and amazing. Thank you so much for bringing me on here. This is amazing. Very good questions that we should all reflect on. What do you guys think also about self-love and self-healing? How does it apply in your life? These are all great things, and I thank you for bringing forth these topics because they're very important. A lot of us need healing, and we'll continue to need healing.
Yes. You guys, please, 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 right now, take a moment while you're on Instagram. Go follow her right now at Selfcare Recipe. Trust me, it's going to be what you need in your life. You need to follow her right now. Once again, I'm so thankful and I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to chat with you and also get to know you. You're one of my favorite people that I look up to on Instagram. Like, you're truly amazing. And I'm so thankful. I cannot say how many times I'm just so thankful that you took time out your day to talk to me about these amazing topics, important topics at that. So I truly thank you. And once again, guys, this is All Things with Shanti. Please don't forget to follow her on Selfcare Recipe. We will see you on the next episode.